Hey y'all, I'm Jen, and this is Sassy Southern Insta Girl, and this is the I Love Coffee YouTube hop for National Coffee Day. So happy National Coffee Day, everybody. There are 15 channels participating in this collaboration, and it is hosted by Linnae from Fashionably 50 Something and Beyond. And in this hop, you will find coffee themed decor, crafts, baked goods, and anything coffee. So get yourself a cup of coffee and stop by the channels listed below so that you don't miss any of the coffee themed goodness. Have a wonderful day, and I hope you enjoy what I'm going to be sharing with you today. So I am doing a coffee themed journal. I am using the coffee time kit from Creating with Jovi. In addition to, I did print on the back of some paper that I got from Ollie's. It was this paper pad here, the Park Lane Time Worn Textiles. And I used this in my Desmodus, the Romantic Vampire video as well. And I got the idea from Jovi over at Creating with Jovi, and this coffee time kit again is her kit. It's a digital kit that you can purchase in her shop, and I will list that link down below as well. And I already made the cover and I put my papers inside, and now we're going to just decorate it a little bit. I'm going to give you a little bit of a flip through. For those of you that have been following me for a long time, y'all know I don't like coffee, but I enjoy creating coffee themed items. I don't know why, it's weird. I think I like the colors, like the vintagey colors and whatnot. But I absolutely cannot stand the smell or the taste of coffee. And everybody thinks I'm a weirdo, but I've been like that since I was little. And I've actually tried to like coffee as an adult, and just I can't make it work. But anyway, I had this faux leather in my stash that I had gotten quite a while back from Temu. And I decided to use it to make my journal cover. I used a piece of the long cardstock that was on clearance a while back at Hobby Lobby, and just created like a soft paper cover, and I covered it with that. This is some ephemera that I layered. This was a piece, this was a piece, and then this was a piece. I layered it together, and then I put it in some matte laminating paper and put it through my laminator, and then glued it with Fabri-Tac to the front. I did that on my Desmodus journal, and I really like how it turns out. It's not too shiny, and it protects the images. And then down here at the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and open this and show you how I did the cover. So it was just a little bit short here, so I took a piece of trim and put it all the way around on the bottom to connect the the pieces to the journal, so that when I did it on the inside, they would you know, have something to connect to, because this was hanging off, and so it needed to have something. And then I just took this fringy trim that I also got on clearance from Hobby Lobby and put it over the top so that you wouldn't see the line. And then, as I did on my last journal, I punched holes in and put eyelets with my Crop-A-Dile to secure it. And I actually put one here that you can't see. It's kind of hidden down there, but that's in the event that somebody wanted to put a charm down there to dangle. It could dangle in between the hinge and the, you know, down here. But then you could also put stuff on the strings. I'm just leaving those. I don't have any coffee themed charms, so I left that like it was. But that's what the faux leather looks like. It feels really, really nice. It's like an embossed, lacy feel to it. And then for the closure, I glued down some of this trim that I also got off of Temu. I put a clear button on top of it, and these are some little pieces I had in my stash. They kind of look like snowflakes or flowers, and they were brown, and I hadn't had much use for them, but they went perfectly there to cover the 2 holes on the button for the closure. And then of course it just ties together. And so I'm not going to do a whole lot in this journal, because honestly, you can write on a lot of the pages as is, or do pictures, or you know, whatever. I'm going to leave the inside like that. I like how that looks. But we're just going to put some pockets in, maybe do a little collaging. Since I did print these on the double-sided, you know, on the back of the paper, I'm not going to, I usually put them on cardstock, but I like the look of the paper on the back. I'm going to leave those, I think, this time, and not make them thicker, because they're all light enough that they can be written on, or decorated on, or whatever. So I think what I'm going to do is like maybe some of these more busy pages where you can't, or maybe wouldn't want to write as much. I think I should have, well, that's fine. I'm going to do a little bit of decorating, but then I think I'm just going to include everything, you know, for whoever gets this to kind of make it their own. Normally I would do a lot more decorating in it, but I don't know. I kind of like it how it is. And that kind of gives you greater room for whoever gets this to, because it will be in my Ko-Fi and my Etsy shop. It'll give you greater flexibility as to what you want to use it for. So let's just do a couple of things in here, I think. Let's see. We could do something here to make it, and we have all this ephemera that comes with the kit. We have the words, which that might be kind of, you know, on some of these I might not want to do a whole lot because it is so busy. Maybe we could do, I do have some leftover, some of the cardstock left over, but I don't know how well that's gonna look, but we can definitely utilize some of this. I hope y'all are having a wonderful start to your week. You will see this on Monday morning, and this is pre-recorded, so that you know, I could get it up in time. I do work a full-time job, so I'll be at work when you guys are seeing this, but I will be following along and seeing what everybody else created. That's always a really fun part. So I think what we might do is maybe decorate one of these pockets. Let's see. We have all kinds of little things we could layer on here. Maybe we could kind of do something like that, and then glue the pocket down. Let's get our glue. I am still learning different techniques and stuff for junk journaling. I'm a newer junk journaler, and I don't really junk journal in the traditional sense. Yeah, I do a little bit, but I don't necessarily junk journal with junk per se. Sometimes I'll use some vintage stuff, but a lot of times I'm using what I have. It's not necessarily vintage or old or like junk mail or, you know, that kind of thing in the traditional sense. But I don't think that matters. I know some people, maybe they prefer the actual traditional junk journaling, but I don't think you have to do that to make it pretty and to enjoy making a junk journal. And I think I was kind of afraid to get into it because of that, because I don't have a lot of the stuff that, you know, more traditional junk journalers would use for junk journaling. But I think that I've really gotten into digital kits, which for those of you that don't know, maybe if you're newer to my channel, I am on Creating with Jovi's design team, and so I do utilize her digital kits in a lot of my projects, and I enjoy that. Most of her kits, if not all of them, are they do have a vintage look to them, and so they're perfect for creating journals, or really any kind of paper craft. And I do have all of these that we can use. I am going to ink them all up to make them look a little more aged, even though they're not really. It gives it that look. I don't know if y'all can see. This side is starting to be inked, and then this side is just plain, and it gets rid of any of the white core that some of the paper might have. I don't really know if this particular paper had white core or not. It probably does though, because it is single-sided. But that's a way to kind of give a faux aged look to stuff, is by inking. And I think probably most people know that, but maybe not everybody. Let's see. I'm going to try to do the more busier pages. Maybe something darker here. Maybe we could do a tuck up here, and I do have some scrap paper over here to make this thicker. If I'm doing tucks with it, instead of, you know, making pockets and tucks, I do kind of like to give it some more thickness and dimension to it, and you're not going to see the back of it anyway, really. So, and I just realized I forgot to ink this before I put glue on it, so we're going to quickly. The good thing about wet glue is you do have a little bit more time to work with it, but I do that a lot. I forget. And really, I could have done that after the fact. I forgot I was gluing the whole thing down. Y'all, I'm tired, and I don't really know why, because I really hadn't done a whole lot this weekend. Yesterday, which I'm doing this on Sunday, so when I say yesterday, I mean Saturday. Saturday, I went and got my nails done, because a lot of times during the week I don't have time. At least I have not had time. I don't know what's going to happen if the government shuts down. Well, there will be no getting my nails done because I won't have a paycheck. But and my son won't have soccer practice, which was the next thing I was getting ready to say. You know, my son has soccer practice, and I usually pick him up from that as soon as I get off work. And so there's not a whole lot of time to do stuff during the week. But I went and got my nails done, and then I ran some errands, and then I went and picked up groceries. I did a Walmart grocery pickup, and then I met my oldest son. I had to give him something, so I met him after I picked up my groceries, and then I came home and made dinner. My son had a sleepover. My youngest had a sleepover last night, and so I made chicken tortilla soup, so I was in the kitchen for a while making that, cooking everything, and then honestly I was so tired just from that I just kind of sat on the couch until bedtime, and I was asleep by 10:30. And then today I have been working on projects and whatnot. Because when I'm done with this project, I will have two challenges I want to get out tomorrow. Do I want to put something up here? We have this. That's kind of dark for that page, I think. We could do a coffee cup up there as a tuck. And then that would leave the bottom. But I think if I do that, I'm gonna maybe we should do this one for a little more. No, I think I like that. We're going to put that on some more of this white paper. Let's do a poll. Put a, is there a coffee emoji? Let me even look on my phone because I don't even know, y'all. If there is, let's try this. So there's a coffee cup. So if you like coffee, put a coffee cup emoji down in the comments to let me know. I know probably most people do. I know, I think Mary Ellen from Mary Ellen's Crafts and Hauls, she doesn't really like coffee. And I feel like there's somebody else. I know that we're few and far between, but still. Alright, I think I'm gonna just do this top little corner here. Alright. I think I might need to put a little bit of glue on the handle part. And then we will, I'm kind of liking using these more flexible covers that I've been doing the last couple of projects. Let's see, we could put that in there. Okay. Let's do see, I have this. This is coffee break. We could do that on this one. I think that'll look good. My goal whenever I do these journals with the digital kits is to use everything in the kit. And if you guys will remember, and maybe I'll do a flip at the end of the journal I created last year for this collab, because I was also in this collab last year. It was called something else, but it was the same host. And it's funny because I'm doing something completely different for this journal. Even though I did a journal last year, it's completely different. It's a completely different idea. And I think it's kind of cool that, you know, and I used this kit as well. So it's cool that you can, you know, use the same kit over and over, but make something completely different. And I think I've come a long way with my creating it in a year, as I think you'll see. And I'm just rounding the edges here with my little punch that I got from Temu. I actually bought some coffee dyes and stuff that I'm going to be destashing. I just don't do enough with it. I don't know, we'll see. I might keep them, but I think I'm going to destash them. I was going to do a destash this weekend, but just didn't work out. I had forgotten that I had quite a few things that I had to do this weekend, or at least on Sunday. I tend to leave my stuff to the last minute, so I had forgotten. But I had some things I needed to get done, and so the destash didn't happen this weekend, but maybe next weekend. I'll start my physical therapy, not physical, my occupational therapy on Tuesday. And I go every Tuesday and Thursday for the next 4 weeks. And then we are re-evaluating the situation. That's very similar. Probably need to do something here. Let's do another, I think I'm going to do a corner pocket. And I also have a doctor's appointment tomorrow for a different issue. And then my son has a game on Tuesday, which might be his last game, depending on how this government thing goes. Let's see. What did we put on this other one? We put a cup. We could put the coffee pot. And I've got some little flowers that I think would be cute in here too, because there is some floral elements in here. And some greenery, which is why I put the green in. Because we have, you know, it's not exactly the same shade, but that's okay. Let's see. And then even though this one is outlined in black, I'm still inking the edge where so you can't see the white core. And so you'll see a little bit of the ink on the back side. I really love, this is one of my favorite pages. I just like the way that looks. Let's see. I'm trying to, I wish I had scored these pages so that the holes didn't show, but I didn't. In hindsight, you know, 2020, as they say. I really love how these kits look. Okay, so we did that page there. So I think we'll do something here in the corner. Let's see, a lot of this, maybe we won't do a tuck here. Maybe we'll do, because we've got this page, 1, 2, that one, 3, 4. Maybe we'll just do some decorating here. I kind of like, maybe we can do a ticket. With a latte. Oh, almost forgot again, y'all. I'm bad about forgetting to ink my stuff because it's something newer that I've just started doing, and it's taken me, like, I have to actively think on it. If you're a paper crafter, do you ink everything? I just feel like it gives it a more finished look when you do it. And so I really like it. But, you know, you don't have to. It's just a personal preference, honestly. I can tell a difference when I don't do it as opposed to when I do. So I make an active attempt. Okay. And then we could do a side. this. I like my coffee with cream and my literature with optimism. I know a lot of people don't like the chatty videos, but I don't mind them. And I obviously do them. Even when I really don't have a whole lot to say. Alright guys, so here is the final flip through. So again, here's the cover. And I just added that quote there. We have the pocket here with the tag. I added this quote here with the butterfly. I really love how that looks. And then we added a top tuck here. Turned this tag into a tuck and added coffee time. Then we added this quote here with the little pen and ink and quill pen. Made this into a tuck here. And I don't think this is one I forgot to ink, and I could tell. See there? It really does make a difference. It's very subtle, but it's a difference. Okay. So there's that. And then here I put the two tags into this little side tuck. This is a cup with a ticket here. We made this pocket here with the coffee pot. I added this tag, ticket, and stamp. We have a little cluster here, side tuck here. We have a bottom tuck here, and I just added this ticket up here for some color. We have this little embellishment down here, the little coffee bean bag. I just added this stressed, blessed, and coffee obsessed with the coffee cup here. We have this top tuck. Little cluster here, corner pocket here. Coffee is always a good idea, and then I just added the little stamp up there. I added the heart, the latte heart with the word latte down there. We have a coffee break side tuck here with the guest check. I added the little coffee grinder down here. And that is it, guys. So that is this journal for the I Love Coffee 2025 collaboration. I really liked how it turned out. And now I'm going to show you a quick flip through of last year's journal. And I'm actually going to give last year's journal away. So if you stuck around this long and you would like to be entered in this giveaway, then comment below with the word coffee in a sentence, please, not just the word. And let me share with you what you're going to win. So this is the journal I made last year. It is going to come with a pen from Boutique Charms. It says Mama Needs Coffee. I got this in a mystery grab bag that I purchased from her shop, and since I don't drink coffee, I just was going to put it with this journal, so you're going to get that. It does have this brown satin bow belly band to keep it closed, and you'll see lots of elements that are also in this kit, just used differently. I used a one of those half-size notebooks, and I did tape 2 pages together to make it thicker, and I stamped, or I might have stenciled. I can't remember if that was a stamp or a stencil that I had. I tore some of the paper here, did some stamping or stenciling, and added the word latte there. This page just has coffee time on it. Here is a pocket with some stamping or stenciling and some more of that torn paper. This is one of the tags. This is a die cut. It says Coffee and Crafts. And then just some of the ephemera. And we have this page here. I used a doily here with the butterfly. I fussy cut some of the paper and added the coffee grinder there. And then here's just some fussy cut pieces of the papers. More fussy cut. Here's a stamp here. There's more fussy cut paper there. There's the coffee grinder again. Some of these I did use more than once. I had printed on regular copy paper and on cardstock. So I did utilize different stuff. This is that book and coffee cup that I put on the cover here. And that's what it looks like by itself. There's that background image that I used on the cover. There's that coffee is always a good idea. And as you can see, I did a lot of different, there's a stamp. Actually, that might be just the paper, and I added the stamp. You can see a lot of different elements. Here I did use this tag as a belly band here. There's that card, and I flipped it and put it on the back side, and then I did put an eyelet on there. There's some more of that stenciling or stamping. Here's a tag with a ticket used as ephemera. If it's nothing tucked in it, then it's just ephemera. There's some more of that torn paper, and then I inked the edges. I really like this little notebook. I was very pleased with it, how it came out. That is fussy cut out of that same paper, I believe. It's crazy how different it looks when it's like that. Then here is some more doily that I used, and it says caffeine. It maintains my sunny personality. And there's the other half of the doily with the coffee break there. And I just folded it over the page and glued it down. Here we have this page. I don't drink coffee to wake up. I wake up to drink coffee. There's a ticket and that faux wax seal. This is another stamp that I had, and it's kind of thick, but I like it. May your coffee be strong and your Monday be short. Here's a postcard here with a faux wax seal. There's some more of that stenciling. The coffee bag. Coffee because adulting is hard. That's on a piece of torn paper from the kit. That says, but first coffee. Here's that stamp again. Here's the other half of that green doily with some more torn paper. Here is a pocket. So this is that same piece here. I turned it into sideways into a pocket, and here are some tags from the kit. That says hug in a mug, and it's I stamped it, or I'm sorry, I cut it on some of the paper from this kit. And actually I think I did that with all of the, yeah, I used pieces of the kit to create the die cuts. Then here's another pocket. Should keep that out. Here's another pocket. And here is another pocket. Another pocket. Here's that book and the coffee cups again. More fussy cut paper. More pockets with ephemera. Then this is just glued down. More torn paper. That's glued down. More torn paper with a stamp. I really like that. And there is the end. So again, if you would like to win this, comment, use the word coffee in a sentence below. Let me know what you think between last year's journal and this year's journal. Let me know what you think on that as well. Please check out all the other participants in the collaboration. They'll be listed down in the description box below. Thank you, Linnae, for inviting me to participate again. I really enjoyed it. And I will see you guys in the next one. Keep it sassy. Bye, y'all.